Good morning, everybody. Why am I taking a video right now? Well, my hair looks ratchet. I'm going to straighten it today, probably curl it, and then put on something on this face. Why am I making this video right now? Really, because this is how people start their day, and they always talk about, like, I woke up like this. The thing that I'm trying to say is that I actually really like my face natural. Dudes don't have to do all this work for what? Okay, so really, the entire point of this section of the video is to show you that I'm comfortable in my own skin and my own hair, okay? I will talk to y'all later when I get ready and do some with this. I already brushed out my hair, like at least the bottom half of my hair. I have discovered that, I have ADHD, so the course of action that I am supposed to take is taking stimulants. I haven't taken my stimulant pill today because it does have a crash to it. It has a side effect of a crash. There's been a couple days that I've skipped taking it just because I'm I don't really have anything to get done today, so there's really no point in taking the medication for what? I've lived with this my whole life. You have to understand, I'm 27 years old. I've lived with it my whole life. What's one day living with my own thought process? I have realized if I need to actually have productive conversations, or if I need to get work done, something done, then I will take my medicine. Woo, girl, okay, she's coming together. Alright, so we're ready for the second half. The reason that I brought up mental health is obviously because we're in a time where mental health is just at an all-time in your face. People have felt very aware of their mental illness during COVID. Our suicide rates are going up, which is so sad, and it's such a negative side effect of something that no one can see. I felt it myself, where I'm I could disappear and no one would understand why. So I think it's really important to be aware of the people around you and what they're dealing with. And I think it's really important to make sure people realize what they're dealing with. You could be perfectly a happy person for all of your life, and one day you're not happy. It can happen, That's how it happens usually. People wake up one day and they're not good. It's if you felt heartburn, you're going to take a Tums first, right? So if you feel sad, you're just going to try to do things that make you happy first. Now, the person that has heartburn repeatedly is eventually going to go to the doctors because it's just uncomfortable to live with. But we don't do the same thing with our brains. We don't think, man, I'm not good and I don't know what's wrong with me, but something is wrong and I really need to go see a doctor, which are therapists. And I'm guilty. I have not been to see a therapist ever, and I wanted to be a therapist. Even if you don't feel like going in to see a doctor, there's so many resources online. And if you don't have a mental disorder, still, please do research on it. Take the time, just a little bit of night, to study a mental disorder, to understand maybe what someone else is going through. That's really all I had to say on that. I don't want to be preachy about it. I realize we're all going through it right now, and I just hope you guys are staying safe and try to stay as positive as you can. I'm not a positive person, first of all. So let me say that. I'm a very pessimistic person. I dealt with depression since I was about 13, 14 years old. And so I completely understand that hearing someone say, stay positive in a crisis like this is just kind of nah, what are you even saying? Stay educated. Study all that you can and figure out and come up with at least a consensus, and then think about taking it to a therapist. How long can you straighten your hair for? I have ADHD, okay? And I'm mixed. This is 450 degrees. And I say this because my dad used to always get so mad that I would put frozen pizzas in the oven for 450 degrees. And I was like, Dad, I am straightening my hair with the same amount of heat as I'm putting a pizza in for. I think the pizza will be fine if my hair is fine. I will continue this video when I go to curling my hair. It is quite a bit later today, and the reason why I'm doing this video now is namely because, like I told you, I have ADHD, and it's really hard to stick to things for me. I took him at like 10:30 to 11 o'clock. By the time I was done, it was about 11:30. And I knew I had to take my medicine. I needed to get lunch done. So I did do those two things. Anyways, the point being that I told myself that today I was going to do my hair, curl it, and then I was also going to do my makeup and do like a look. And it's now 5 o'clock. I don't know what else to say except for, this is part of the struggle that I deal with, is to like get things done. Really hard for me to follow through with things. Part of me was like, you know what, let's give up, let's just watch Great British Baking Show. But the problem is I always give up on stuff, and this is something I really want to follow through with. And my sister recently, she's been doing Black-owned business hauls, which is so amazing that she's doing that. But the reason I brought this up is because I had another topic that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the George Floyd thing, my perspective of being half Black and having a Black father and what that has meant. Because I really just think there's a lot of misinformation out there. I just feel very passionate about this topic, and so I would like to do like a nice video where I sit down and talk about it. So that will probably be one of my next videos that I talk about. Really cute to have something right here that's like Christmassy that you guys could be like, oh, that's cute. Rather than just sit on my bed and just do this every day. I also don't think I'm gonna do getting ready with me videos every day because that's not what I'm about. Style is not really like my thing. Following through, that's what I'm trying to do. So if you don't already, please go follow my Instagram. It's Peyton Rochelle. I'm gonna try to start posting more on there. Trying to get a little bit of following. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me over there. We'll have a fun time together. You get to see all my cute looks. I'm back, and as you can see, I already did my foundation and set my face and all that because doing that shit on camera is like, no. So today I'm going to attempt to go for a darker look. I don't know. We'll see. Also, I'm not a makeup artist, okay? I suck at this. I watch so many videos, and I'm always like, man, this is gonna look so good. And then I gotta do it, and it just looks like trash. We're just gonna do the best we can. So, sorry if I'm looking down. I'm just trying to make sure that I get this color laid down correctly. And I'm kind of blind. The other thing that's been going on this year is politics. So that's been an interesting development as well, has it not? Honestly, you know, I really don't care how you voted. I'm just grateful that you voted, because the reality is we need the majority of what America is feeling to vote. And you know, I know a lot of people were like very nervous this year and very unhopeful, but the reality of the situation is most people are centrist and they feel some type of way in the middle. So just take what people say sometimes with a grain of salt and try to be gentle with people. My goal for everything is to just try to educate people. It's just really silly to expect someone who's grown up a certain way to think like you. I'm really not sure where I want to go with this. This is part of the problem. I end up starting something and I end up hating it. Throw it away. I don't want to do that with this look. So I feel like this year has been really hard and really long, but also one of the best growth years I've had. I've learned a lot about myself this year because I've had to spend a lot of time with myself this year. When you can't really go out and do things, I mean, you can, but I am not going to because I have asthma. It sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. So I've had to spend a lot of time with myself this year. One of the biggest things that is changing right now is my careers. I really don't know where I want to head. I have a kind of an idea of what I want to do, but I'm finally at the point where I realize that no matter how hard you hustle, if you're hustling in the system, what people would consider a dead-end job, there's not that much opportunity for growth. And by growth, I mean wealth. Elder Beerman, when I worked there, I got one of the highest raises in my department, and my raise was 6 cents. The biggest raise that was given in that department was 11 cents. 11. And when they thought someone wasn't doing well and they wanted to punish them, they gave them a 1 cent raise. 1 cent. What is that doing? When you're paid hourly, that's doing nothing. 1 cent per hour? 6 cents per hour. 6 cents is not an adequate raise, especially when you're taking all of the boxes. After 4 years of working there, I had increased my wage by $1.50, I think. 4 years. I ticked all the boxes, and yet my wage only increased by $1.50. And I don't blame that on my department head at all. I don't even blame that on my department. It's not really their choice. The top of the food chain is going to say, well, what can they afford to pay you when you don't have a degree? So the reality of the situation is, I was just kind of stuck in a situation where I wasn't increasing my wage, and then they took my hours from me. And at that point, I just decided, you know what, it's just not going to work out. I loved the company, but they were a hot mess, and I was just like, you know what, I can't do it anymore. I'm not going to put myself in a position where financially I can't take care of myself when I'm working all the time. And they confused me, and they made me feel like I was the one, like I was doing so much for the company and they were so thankful and grateful. And yet I couldn't even pay my bills. I ran my credit cards up to the max, and I just pretended like everything was okay when it wasn't. And I finally just got to the point where I said, you know what, this has just gotta stop, because I can't afford to do this anymore. There's no shade to these jobs at all. They're amazing and fantastic jobs for first-time workers, but they're not good jobs for someone who needs to make a living and has made that choice to kind of like just join the workforce and just do it. Needless to say, I was having a really hard time, and I was starting to feel really depressed, and I couldn't really talk to anyone about it because all my friends, you know, had finished college. They were well on their way in their careers. And I have wonderful and amazing parents who I can be completely open and honest with, and I'm really grateful for that. But at the same time, it's really embarrassing. So it's just been a very hard year. I can't believe that all of this has happened in a year. So for a short amount of time, I was nannying for a family, and that was going really, really well. And I really liked the kids, I really liked the family. But unfortunately, again, we're in COVID, and it was kind of my job as well to make sure that I protected their family from getting it. I kind of knew that I was in a position where my roommates, had to work and do stuff like that. I can't control what they do with their life. But unfortunately, because of that, I kind of lost the opportunity to continue working for this family because people developed COVID. I came in too close of contact with COVID, and I couldn't lie to the family. I knew that I most likely didn't have COVID, but just the chance that I did have it and that I could possibly give it to them, I could not be that girl that was like, this is my job, I need this to survive, so let me put their family in danger. I would feel so bad if anything ever happened to, her mom or her mom's husband, because, that's the only people they see, that's their support system. So I was not about to be that person that gave her mom COVID, or God forbid, gave her stepfather COVID when he has cancer. And so it really was just one of those things where it was a really unfortunate, thing that kind of went down and happened. And so now I'm in the position where, I'm trying to figure out what am I doing next with my life. So I think I just have gotten to the point where I'm like, this isn't what I want. This isn't the life that I wanted for myself. What do you want your life to be? And I want to figure that out so I can make a plan and stick to it and really make sure that I am thriving in whatever I actually choose to do. I know this is a lot, and my whole point is that you can do whatever you want, and because you can dream big in this country and you can do what you want, you just have to figure out how to get there. And that's been my biggest issue, is how do you get there? I'm very bad at marketing myself, and I've been very bad at making connections, which I've watched my sister do and I've watched my other sister do. Very good at that kind of stuff. Me, not so much. I kind of tend to push everyone in my life away and fend for myself. And so it is time to stop doing that, because the life that I want and the life that I want to create requires me to be around people. So y'all gonna be seeing me a lot more, and I'm gonna put myself out there because this is what I like to do. Good morning, you guys. It is the dreaded outro. It takes a lot to try to be creative and come out with a way to say, hello, I am here. Is that you? It's a really hard way to come up with a way to say hello and goodbye. And so I just didn't. I don't know why that day I didn't sit down first and go, hey guys, I'm doing this. Well, actually I do. And you can read about it in my blog, which I will have linked below, but also basically all of my social media is under Peyton Rochelle. Just go look it up. Follow me on TikTok. I started one of those. I'm gonna have to edit all this out. I don't want to talk for a long time because this is gonna have to be clipped. This is supposed to be clear and concise. This is what it's like living with someone with ADHD, okay? And if you understand, you understand. We are a weird bunch. We don't know what's going on. Anyways, I just got on here to say goodbye. I love you guys so much. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. I've loved talking to all of you. I've loved getting to know people's stories about their struggle with ADHD. I've loved to get to network. And I never thought that I would like that. Because what I've realized is I love you guys. You guys are the people I grew up with in church. You are the friends I had at school. You're the family that leaves me beautiful messages and comments telling me how you love what I've put out or you're inspired by something. The people I grew up with on the internet. And then there's people getting to see me who have no idea who I am. So again, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for any and all of the views that you've given me. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. I'll talk to you later.